star fucks.
Can't see any.
Do you remember when we poured that Starbucks in New York on the pavement, and then like 2 months later it was still there? Do you remember? It was fucking disgusting. Like it turned into tar.
Like what's in that stuff?
Yeah, right outside the magic shop. I bet it's still there now. We go back to New York.
Who poured it?
It was Greg. Well, Greg was drinking it. He was like, "Oh, it's horrible." Like when we first arrived in New York, and then when we left, it was still there.
Yeah, but didn't he like drinking the really obscure stuff then?
Tar coffee.
Guys, do you want to you do an intro as well? Just if you want to sort of say, such and such.
Is it bad?
What's wrong with you?
What?
Larry just did the worst part ever.
Come on. This is Larry.
Is that cool? Can you like just sort of say, hi, I'm such and such, I play this, 100 Reasons kind of thing?
Hi, I'm Andy. I play drums in 100 Reasons.
I'm Larry, I play guitar.
And I'm Andy, I play guitar. Bass.
Andy forgot.
You get that wrong.
That's sort of a guitar, I guess.
Right, someone give me just a quick potted history of how 100 Reasons kind of started, why and how and when and where.
Oh, I can't remember. You do it. We've been together about 4 years. Our first gig was Millennium Eve, so that's nice and easy to remember. And I don't know really, we all just played in bands around our area. I was in a really, really good band, they were in a not so good band, so I sat the rest of mine and they really needed someone to come in and give them that extra spark, and that was me. Not strictly true.
So, and what was the aim of the band then? Because I mean, you said you're all in other bands.
I don't know, we didn't really have any sort of, I don't know, we didn't really have any dreams to be like massive straight away. We just wanted, 5 guys in the room just making music, really, weren't we?
I don't know, it was really good straight away, it worked really well. From the first rehearsal we were coming up with really good stuff, and it was sort of better than anything that any of us had done really before, so it seemed to make sense immediately.
The thing was, as I was like with our old band anyway, we'd like practice like once a week if we were lucky, whilst we actually felt like we could actually really make an effort and actually decided to practice more than once a week, which actually makes a difference in the end. So,
what were you all listening to back then? What was the kind of sound that you were just feeling when you were playing?
I know a lot of stuff really, but I was really into sort of hardcore and punk, like Minor Threat and all that sort of DC stuff. And I know, Andy's a bit of an indie kid.
Yeah.
Colin likes his metal. I know we all like different stuff, so...
how did that sort of comprise the sound? What came from where?
It kind of worked out pretty well, really. Everyone just brought their own sort of ideas from what they were listening to into rehearsal, and kind of just made our sound, I guess.
So that's 4 years if my maths is right. How have things changed, like as a band and also individually for you?
Well, for 3 or so of those years, we've been doing it full time all the time, and it's turned into a life as opposed to something you do in the evening, which is, I think, what all of us wanted to do. I told you, it's gonna be a nightmare. It's a flight path and tube.
So what Larry was trying to say before we got interrupted was like, because it's obviously become so much more part of life for us, that we feel that we've come a hell of a long way since we first started. Like, all of us were like, felt like we were like good enough to do stuff like this sort of thing, and it's just like, obviously you grow as a musician and grow as a band, and we're so much more comfortable.
Now we practice like 5 days a week, and you just get so much better.
So what are you working on at the moment specifically?
Just new songs.
New songs for a third album.
You recording as well, and
Yeah, just demoing really. We're all really happy with what we're coming out with at the moment as well. It all seems to be going really well.
and also like the covers, man. Not enough bands do covers nowadays, and this is probably what a lot of people ask you.
Yeah.
But where, like, because the covers that you've done have been drawn from so many different places.
Well,
where's the idea?
That all started with that Smith's tribute album, and they asked us to go on that, and we're like, yeah, we'll do a track for that. And I just think they really liked the song we did and wanted to put it out as a single. And instead of just doing normal sort of B-sides, we thought we'd just pick a bunch of weird covers to do. And yeah, we just picked ones that, like, Back in Black's quite an obvious choice for a rock band, but Eternal Flame wasn't Fast Car. We just thought it's better than just doing you know, I don't think any band should cover another band that they sound like. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, we kind of did the whole thing.
Version of it.
We kind of did the whole thing for like a bit of a laugh as well. You know, it's not an incredibly serious thing.
It's not at all serious.
We've just
As
kind of.
you'll know,
We were asked to do
Eternal Flame.
Yeah. Well, we were asked to do the Smiths cover by a really good friend of ours called Wes, and we were all kind of willing to do it. And we all appreciate that Smiths are a great band, you know. So it's kind of just a tribute to them. So.
Why do you think so few bands do covers, like especially live? None ever cover stuff live.
Well, it's not something that we ever really thought about doing. We only did it at someone else, and it's probably not something we'll ever do again. Because we've not really been a band that does covers. But I think it's just because, you know, the idea was about and the opportunity came up that we did it. But I don't know. We always strayed away from doing covers, and I think a lot of bands do because they'd rather do their own stuff. And especially with rock, there's quite a stigma about not. Sort of covers can be a bit of a cop out sometimes, but we just tried to make it more of a fun thing to do.
Or it could go the other way and basically people just associate you with said cover, which a lot of bands really, really don't want.
Aiding that farm, anyone?
So what was it like supporting AC/DC now?
That's pretty good, yeah.
Did you play Back in Black?
No.
Yeah, no, we would have been bowled like out of Hammersmith.
Yeah, we came on with our encore and played Back in Black.
No, it was great. I mean, we got. We only got offered the show about 3 days before it happened. Because obviously they don't need to worry about a support band to the last minute. So
it's not like they have trouble
Well, they
setting
don't
their show out.
yeah.
I think our agent just got us the gig so he could get in.
And we all got it for free as well. So we kind of did our set in like half an hour, really workmanlike, and then we just got off stage and got straight in the crowd and watched AC/DC for 2 hours. So,
Yeah, the funniest thing about that show is like all of us were thinking, like as we played, you could see the eyes, the muso eyes, just looking at you, like watching what you're playing. You're just like, this is quite fun.
So you guys are off on this fucking enormous tour at the moment.
Yeah.
And normally bands do like huge tours. So what was this sort of? Was there any sort of idea behind that specifically, or was it just fuck it, let's get on the road?
Well, it's just like, you know, we've got a lot of new stuff to play, and you know, for us it's a really good idea to go out and play all the songs you're going to record before you record them. So I think that's the point of it, to do a lot of shows and do a lot of like sweaty smaller shows and tighten up the material and just do it like that. You know what I mean?
and plus, we haven't toured the UK since March either. So it's nice to be able to kind of go out at least twice a year and do a big tour. You know, I think we're doing like 20 dates. I think it is.
About 20 days.
Yeah.
20 dates. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of good fun. A lot.
So do you take that back? You know, working on material and trying out new material, and does it change when you're on stage? And
It can do.
Yeah, it does. You know, as songs do progress and change, and there's even some of the tracks that are on our albums that we now play a bit differently. You know, so it is good to play them and see how people react to them and see what's working. You know,
Plus,
that's the best gauge of how a song's working, is how other people react to it. I think.
Yeah.
You know, because you can think it's the best thing in the world, and everyone else thinks it's a piece of dog shit. So, you know, you just got. It's quite a good way of finding that out.
so how did you avoid that sort of, you know, tricky second album? I mean, it's solid. Did you find that it was a tricky second album, or did it just sort of flow and it was a step to the next?
Well, we've kind of like, when we were in the studio, we didn't feel any kind of pressure to get another album the same as our first album. Because for us, I mean, we were all amazed about how successful our first album was, to be honest. We weren't really expecting that. And yeah, so when we kind of set out to write the second album, we weren't kind of feeling pressured into doing it. And we kind of wrote it as a natural, I don't know, like the next step, kind of in like the 100 Reasons story kind of thing. That was good.
The next step up.
And we weren't worried about how kind of successful it was going to be or anything. You know, and we didn't go out to write singles like, you know, pop rock singles or anything. We just did what we wanted to do. And I think it's going to be the same for the next record as well. You know, we don't feel pressured into writing anything we don't want to write. You know,
What's changed for you in terms of the music? How have things changed since the first album? You know, things you've got to do on the second that you may not have done on the first.
Yeah, more
your time.
more experimental, aren't we?
Yeah,
Really?
I mean, it's about, just for us, what being in the band's about is about letting it grow and seeing where it goes, and not, you know, and not all the emphasis now seems to be on singles, and you know, we've been guilty of thinking like that occasionally, but we try and stop ourselves because you know, it seems to be that everything's got to chart higher and everything, and it's just, the charts are such a load of rubbish anyway. You know what I mean? because we've had singles up in the top 20 that if they'd been out the next week would have been in the number 9. If they'd been out the week after, they would have been in number 47. It's such a stupid thing, and there seems to be a lot of importance put on that, especially by the majors. So I don't know, for us it's more about growing and being a band for as long as possible, and not worrying about that side of it, and just worrying about what we're creating.
Yeah.
So how would you describe the music that's on and what's going to come the 3rd album?
I don't know, we just demo and instead play them out live and see what's working and what isn't, I think. And I don't know, after a while it sort of comes obvious what track's going to go on and what isn't. Yeah.
And how would you describe like the sound, your sound? All the elements that go in there. And
We only ever describe it really as being rock music.
Leave that up to other people.
Yeah.
It's like you just get yourself into a corner really. If you go, they're a new metal band, or they're a heavy metal.
If you start calling yourself some sort of music,
indie
that's when you're in
band,
trouble.
We're rock bands. It's like just if we branch out into other things, it still covers it really. So.
Disco metal.
Was it post-ironic disco core?
Yeah,
was the best of them.
Oh, nice. Well, that's cool, man. That's kind of the questions. Just one more thing. If you say like into the mic, this is for the Leeds thing. Hi, this is 100 Reasons you're listening to Live Guide Leeds, preferably when the airplane is coming.
Right. Okay.
Probably be like the next district line train going along.
Right. That would be good. Yeah.
Kicking up some drums.
As soon as that plane's going to go, he's going to start playing drum kit, and that guy with the funky keyboard's going to
I can deal with the keyboard. I think that's cool. Is that cool? Yeah. Just so 100 Reasons you're listening. You're listening to the Live Guide Leeds.
Alright. So I just do it. Hi, this is 100 Reasons. You're listening to the Live Guide Leeds.
Cool, cheers. And can I also get one for us, which is this will be a video one as well. 100 Reasons, and you're watching clickmusic.com.
Hi, 100 Reasons. You're watching clickmusic.com.
Cracking stuff. Cheers, man. Thanks a lot. Well, I'll let you get on with frying up some coffee and
Getting over it.
fry up.
Sorry about the state we're in today.
You had a fry up?
No.
Good boy.